sometimes my reviews are gonna be bad or really boring, and the reason behind that is because I'm not really putting any effort into taking my notes. So, which means I'm not gonna be concise enough. And the reason for that is because I either are in a bad mood, I wasn't in a mood, or I had a bad day, or I overthink too much and literally drown myself in the lake of fucking sorrows. Because here's what you need to know. I am battling depression and anxiety, and I've had this shit ever since I was 9 years young, and now I'm 26. Yes, I am, and I'm still dealing with it even worse now because when you're young, you don't have any responsibility, so to speak, compared to when you get older. Because when you get older, you have a lot more responsibilities, you deal with a lot more bullshit, and you basically start to see life for what it really is. Because there have been many times where I've been getting thoughts of just wanting to stop doing reviews, simply because I don't want people to hear my voice or see my face, and I already don't have the looks. So, and the thing that comes with depression and anxiety is that you are gonna want to have less contact with people or not want to be around people. You know what I mean? I mean, I can't even remember the last time I went out or hung out with people, which is a fucking long time. But enough about that. Now you know that about me. So when the review is bad or boring, just think of what I said. He's having a bad day, or he's crying in the corner or something. No, I'm not crying in the corner. Not that. I don't do that. But let's just get on with the review. Alright, welcome back, welcome back. I just had to put that out of the way. As you can see, the lighting is bad today because this motherfucking light doesn't seem to work. I have one here, and of course you have the room of the light. But this will do anyways. So, very interesting show tonight. There are a lot of things I liked about tonight's show compared to last week's show. This tonight's show was definitely better than last week's. The show opens up with El Patron coming out. Okay, as you can see, without the title because he relinquished it due to his dirty win last week. El Patron says he likes the place because he doesn't have to pretend to be someone he's not. He can say whatever he wants. We've definitely noticed that. He talks about defeating Lashley and that he proved to be champion. He says he's not a talker, he's a badass and a fighter. Oh yeah, and also a hypocritical sellout. But that's the past, right? Let's just get over it, let's forget that, right? Okay, good. So then he calls out Lashley, but instead EC3 comes out. See, I'm a nice guy, I just got over this whole El Patron being a sellout. See how easy it is? So EC3 comes out. Just like last week, EC3 tells Patron again that he needs to earn his title shot. He can't just come in and demand one. So EC3 gives him a proposition, and that proposition is that EC3 wants to face El Patron tonight. And of course, El Patron denies. El Patron says he's here to fight Lashley and that EC3 doesn't make the rules, but the fan does. So, as El Patron makes his way out, EC3 then starts to mocking, starts to talk shit and all of that, and that pissed El Patron off, and then he goes into the ring. So El Patron now tells EC3 he's here to fight the big dogs and not the bitch. That was hot, okay, that was hot. So of course then a brawl starts, happens between the two, they fight, the security guards come out, they hold the two back, and ultimately El Patron gives him the match either way. After that we have a backstage promo or segment, whatever you want to call it, where we see some of the creatives like Dirty Dutch Mantel, Bruce Pritchard. I forgot the other guy's name, but they're in the office basically discussing this whole tag team thing. They don't know how DK got their hands on the title, if they went all over in time and space or whatever. But Bruce Bishop then says Richard, or I can pronounce his name, says he has an idea. He's gonna take care of it. After that, we have a video package of Tyrus and Eli Drake, their whole journey of how basically Tyrus got back with him, got employed again to him, or whatever, how you want to say it. But it's Eli Drake with Tyrus against Laredo Kid and Gaza Jr., two Mexican wrestlers making the debut. It was an average match at best. I'm gonna have to see a lot more from Laredo Kid and Gaza Jr. I'm pretty sure if they were to put him with cruiserweights, with people that are actually in their league, they would have a way better showing, but they weren't bad tonight. So, but Eli Drake had a really hot spot moment where he did a really nice reverse Skylord slam. Shit was really nice, and also a Celtic Cross. Dude was on fire at that point, but ultimately Laredo Kid got the win. I don't know if it was Gaza Jr. or Lido that got the roll up, but one of them, he got the win because Eli Drake wanted to do a clothesline, but one of them moved, so he hit Tyrus instead, and that's basically how this whole Tyrus being distracted, not being able to get in the ring real quick happened. So so we're gonna have another confusion again between the two, or however it's gonna go forward. But Laredo Kid and Gaza Jr. have the win on their debut match. So after that, we have a video package of James Storm, Moose, and Eddie Edwards in Noah, their arrival in Noah, where they did interviews and such and such. I don't know if they're going to show the matches. If they're not going to show their matches, they're definitely going to be on a DVD, just like how they did with Extravaganza, where the match wasn't shown, but I don't know if you remember this, where Sanada, I think it was Sanada, that beat Austin Aries over at Japan for that X Division title. But either way, it's gonna be on a DVD, I'm pretty sure. After that, we have Knockouts match. Casey Quinn, a new knockout, making her debut against Brandy Rhodes, but that didn't happen because once again Cody comes out wanting Moose to come out and blah blah blah. He even made a little bit of fun of Casey Quinn. He had like $45, I think it was, telling her that this is a lot more than what Impact would pay you tonight. Which, by the way, this stuff actually does happen over in the indies, mind you, especially if you just became a pro wrestler, because promotions will either pay you very little or not at all, because in your first year of you becoming a pro wrestler, you're gonna have to, the biggest task, the biggest struggle, or well, actually it's not a struggle, but the one thing you're gonna have to focus on a lot is getting your name out there. So in your first year, you don't have to expect a lot of money or pay at all. And I know this because I've listened to a lot of interviews of young wrestlers or people that became wrestlers, and they kind of explain this whole thing where in your first year as a wrestler, pro wrestler, becoming a pro wrestler, you're gonna struggle a lot. And I can imagine that, because we are gonna have to travel a lot, and all of that of course cost a lot of money, you know. But so yeah, so Cody goes away and of course takes Brandy Rhodes with him. I wonder if there's gonna be a feud between those two. You know, you always have those couple type segments and shit. I hope they don't do that though. I don't want too much, you know, soap opera. Like I said, if I want to watch soap opera, I watch the best soap opera show on TV, which is Grey's Anatomy or Scandal or How to Get Away with Murder. And even How to Get Away with Murder isn't really a soap opera. But anyways, after the commercial, we had Rosemary then attacking Casey Quinn, literally beating her or whatever. I don't know if this was actually Casey Quinn competing, or if she was given a tryout, because she looked extremely amateuristic, like literally. This has probably got to be the worst debut ever for a wrestler, you know. But so I'm gonna have to see a lot more of Casey Quinn to actually criticize her. And yeah, just for the record, yes, she is sexy, whatever. Like I said, when it comes down into that ring, I don't really care how you look or whatever. I need to see your reputation first before I can, go further. But anyways, that's just me. After that, we have EC3 versus El Patron. This was definitely pay-per-view quality match. I think this match was like what, 10 minutes, 11 minutes, if not longer. But it was a really good match. Even though I dislike both of them, I have to give a lot of credit to the audience, because you had one part that was for EC3 and the other part for El Patron, and with that happening, that means the audience was invested. They were paying attention, and that's a good thing. So, but we had one tease in this match, and we had another tease. I'm going to tell you what those teases are. The first tease was EC3 picking up the chair and wanting to go hit El Patron with it. So that's the first tease. The second tease, I'm gonna just say it right away. The second tease was when EC3 was stressing out because he lost, and all of that. And I'm guessing, and I'm also hoping that these teases are us going to get a EC3 heel turn. That this will mean that a EC3 heel turn is coming, because here's the thing, El Patron basically is a babyface. And normally in wrestling, especially when you wrestle for the main title, you don't really have a babyface facing a babyface. You know what I mean? So hopefully we get an EC3 heel turn, because EC3 has been a face for a while now, so it would be good if he finally turns heel. But yeah, like I said, it was a good match. Both guys did their thing. You had El Patron showing his respect to EC3 after the match. Well done. Then we get backstage where McKinsey interviewed Reno Scum. I think I'm gonna like Reno Scum. I like these dudes already. Their whole attitude, they have charisma, the way they talk, they got this awesome look. I'm going to like them by charisma, voice, and attitude standards alone. Okay, so they already win me over with that. And then we have an X Division match. Then we have a intro package, basically a new Titantron for Suicide, where they did this whole bat light thing, but only you have a M. I don't know why it was showing a M when it's Suicide, because that M is for Manic, so basically that's a botch right there. It should be an S. I don't know why it was an M, that's the Manic. But the original character is back, Suicide, not with the original portrayer, because the first one was Christopher Daniels, and then you had TJ Perkins portraying the character, but only as Manic. But we have Suicide back. I don't know who portrays the character, but you could definitely tell he needs to get a lot more comfortable in it. It also seems like it's the first time he's wearing a mask, because you could tell that he's like really trying to mimic the old Suicide, with the movement and such, and it was a little bit off, but pretty sure he's gonna get better, whatever. But in this match was Suicide, Andrew Everett, Preston Sutter, and Trevor Lee. So this was your typical X Division match where you see high flying shit, all of these great spots and such. You had later on the match, you had Lauren Finesse coming out again, still in her wrestling desk, looking like a mess. She was eating chocolate and all of that. I would still marry her just like that, regardless of her looking like that. Man, I would just marry her. But Trevor Lee got the win, so still your X Division champion is Trevor Lee. After the match, you had Sienna coming out, basically shooting a promo to Allie. telling her that she needs to look out. This whole Romeo and Juliet thing is has a fall or whatever the hell. So interesting. I like Ellie, but Sienna, as you all know, is my main bitch, and I want to see Sienna destroy Ellie. Okay, she needs to go AK-47 on her cute ass. Right. So after that, the final segment, Bruce Pritchard comes out. He basically says that in 2 weeks, 4 tag team champions will be crowned on the 4 tag teams, and then Decay comes out. Decay says they are the ones that saved the titles from space and time, so they rightfully deserve it. Then Reno's Scum comes out. They have a little they say something. You had Laredo Kid and Gaza Jr. coming out. They had a say, and then after that, all of them had this, a say. A brawl comes out between 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A brawl came out, so they were basically fighting each other, and not long after that, not the most because it was spoiled, so I can't really say the surprise, and people are still fucking leaking spoilers, posting spoilers. I'm getting really tired of it, to be honest. But LAX is back, Latin Exchange, American Exchange is back. Of course, not the original crew, but some of them. But still, the fact that Homicide at least is still in this one is just good enough for me. And Conan, but normally Hernandez would be in it as well. But we all know Hernandez got fired by the former owner due to this whole Lucha Underground thing and the BDC. Which would be really awesome if BDC came back around this time now, with all these badass tag teams. Would be really good. And knowing that there's a new management as such, and knowing that the BDC basically got fired by the former owner, I think the new owners can work something out and bring them back. But I don't know about the stable itself though, because that probably would have been a creation from the former creatives, or I don't know. But LA is back, badass motherfucking team. Things are really shaping up in Impact Wrestling now, especially at the tag. The tag team division is now, I would say, stacked, but things are really looking good. Really interesting. I'm not gonna rate this show. I'm just gonna say it was a good show. I enjoyed it, but that's how you fucking end a show, Spot Monkeys. Thank you for watching. Hit the like button if you like my review. Subscribe if you feel like subscribing. And I will see you next week. Orale!